Hey everybody, welcome to another exciting episode of the VOD Squad, a stream about streaming technology. My name is Matthew Ross, and today I'm here with Michael Aston.
Howdy, everybody.
And Jimmy Tremmel.
Happy New Year, everyone.
Happy New Year, everybody. Welcome to another exciting new year that's going to be happening very shortly. It's been crazy to get things started here. Clyde is not going to make it to the stream today. He's running late, kind of like I was. I'm sorry. But we're here. We're here to talk about streaming technology, and I hope that everybody is really going to be enjoying the show today. And also, it's really nice that we're going to be able to do this year with the Streamathon folks, with Ritual Misery puts together this New Year's Eve Streamathon, which is helping out with the Extralife.org donations this year. And we're hoping that you're able to make your donations be felt with us this year as well. So if you get a chance, we'll have a link later in the show for you guys if you want to donate for our team. But yes, we are interested in doing that. That being said, how was your Christmas, everybody?
Oh, it was wonderful. How about yours?
I had family over, as usual, and they took over. Once again, my father-in-law took over the TV and got on YouTube and watched nothing but construction and truck videos on my account for 3 days straight. I was deleting videos from my history for some time. Let me put it that way, which is kind of interesting.
Yeah. Christmas sounds like my in-laws visiting. It's all news and ice road truckers. And...
Well, Christmas Day for me was the whole day on the golf course. Right, my son-in-law used to manage a golf course a little bit north of me, and so he's in good with the owner of the golf club there. So he arranged where we all, myself and a lot of his family, we went out and just had a big group golf outing, on Christmas Day. So it was a lot of fun.
Right. So Christmas golf. So you obviously had to play in the snow with special balls that you could see in the white snow, right?
Well, not down here in South Florida.
I know. It's not fair. Now, I remember we did glow in the dark golfing in the dark once. I'll never do that again. I only did it once. The flags are lit so you can see where the holes are, and the balls have little, like, those, break and then shake little things you put in them to make it so they glow. Didn't work the same. You couldn't see anything. Otherwise, it was not very really well lit. I did not have a good time, but a lot of the other people did.
Maybe if you had night vision goggles.
Maybe. Okay. Tactical. Could I get like them range finders? Oh yes, you're exactly. And there's a 2 degrees north, and you'll be fine. Oh God, I can see that happening. Golf is a game I could understand as a pastime.
Yeah. It's challenging enough without it being completely dark.
Right.
That's for sure.
The amount of control required is beyond what I usually want to do by a long shot. And that's no pun intended. It's literally I don't like don't have the ability to put that much precision onto the ball to do anything fancy with it. It always slices to the right for me whenever I try to drive it. I got a pretty good range if I hit it right, but I don't always hit it perfectly. But I haven't played golf in years. That being said, my grandfather was the groundskeeper for the local golf course, and so he knew how to take care of his own lawn and that beautiful lawn that those feet greens were great. Always made me jealous because he always had the best lawn, but that's kind of to be expected, I guess. Other than that, I had a lot of fun with a little, we had a little challenge to go around. My family, specifically my son, he designed a challenge for us to go on a scavenger hunt on Christmas Eve to go buy things, which actually worked out because it was Christmas Eve. Things weren't there. which made it harder. It actually came out to be the kind of thing where I was like, okay, we're going to go. We're all going to, here, you've all got different lists. And he even paid for it. So it's like, here's $20 for everything on your list. So it was like, okay, gotcha. And he went at us all go out and try to get everything we needed to make hot chocolate milkshakes. And but we all had to go to different stores. We weren't allowed to go to anybody's by our own stores for it. And he had a list of very specific items that he wanted us to get. And then we could buy other stuff on top of it. And then when we came back, they were going to put them all together and have a taste test of which one was the best. So just so you know, Safeway won this round, interestingly enough. So they make the best hot cocoa milkshakes.
Wow.
Sounds good.
Yeah. All right. Well, should we talk a little bit about news?
Let's do.
All right. Well, we're going to start with, obviously, we've had the revolution of, the first time we've had radio signal being sent to us, so our ears were covered. And then we had the moving picture where we could watch things, right? And then we had the talkie shows, which is actually, we could hear what's being said at the same time we can see what's being said. So you hear, it's amazing. Technology's advanced since then. We've gotten, surround sound. We've got your 3D glasses and your 3D theaters. Things have gone
color.
Crazy. Oh, for goodness sakes, I forgot going to color. Oh my goodness. Yes, the advances have gone amazing, haven't they? Well, guess what? The next thing is on its way, and it's not smell-o-vision. That's an old thing. This is the Lickable TV. That's right.
What?
This is a device that has been developed by I believe, a Japanese man who is a chef. His job was he decided what he wanted to do was create a television that had basically it's got a thing over it that a little spray this display with flavorings from up to 10 canisters. These 10 canisters will make it so you can actually make things on the screen taste like what he wants them to. And of course, I'm sure you can change the 10 canisters out to be whatever you want. And apparently it is hyperallergenic. I don't believe that, but yes, you literally sprays a film on the screen so you could lick the screen and taste what you see on the screen. Who wants one of these?
Oh, I'm sure they'll make hundreds of dollars.
I would just think it might be a little awkward to go to your friend's house and be like, I'm going to taste your screen. Lick the TV where everybody else is licking. Yeah, no thanks.
He is particularly aiming for restaurants and chefs with this. He wants to be able to have that kind of thing where it's like, hey, and here's the dinner special today, and shows a picture of it, and he says, lick here to find out what it might taste like. I don't know.
I will say in the age of COVID, right? Maybe this makes sense.
Oh, no. This is I mean, if it's hyperallergenic, I don't know how they claim to make it so it's hyperallergenic. I don't know how they think they can make that happen. Unless it's like puts a new screen on it every time. I don't get how that's happened. But we've got the theater you can feel with the big thumping bumpers, and you got the smell-o-vision. I mean, we got what was left. It was obviously taste. So
yeah,
I appreciate the idea. Really, I do. I really think it's not necessarily a bad idea. I would much rather have the individual, they give you a packet and it's like got a bunch of gums in it and it's like different colored. And at this time, take out the green gum and you put that in. Oh, that tastes like seaweed. Oh, he's got seaweed in his mouth. He's in the water. Okay, I get, and have that experience. That's what I'd rather have.
I think that like this kind of thing could work if it was like a personal device, right? Like if you loaded a canister into a personal device that you could carry with you, and then like it could get beamed to your device, and then you would lick that. But not okay with it being a public device that I would be licking somebody else's screen.
Just give me the Star Trek replicator, right? I think I'll pass on this one.
Or even, maybe even have it be like you pull out a slip of paper that you put on your tongue and it sprays the taste onto the paper. But again, not a screen. Not gonna work for me.
Oh, but I don't know. I appreciate the look at the idea of this. I think the idea of it, and the fact that he actually says it's not too expensive for him to build. He thinks it costs him, and this is the cost it would be for him to build, not if for him to mass produce or any markup or anything, like $875. So it's actually not too expensive. So this is this. I mean, I have heard crazier things happen. This could become a fad in the 2020s. I'm telling you. By 2029, we could be having people coming over to your house to try out their Lickable TV.
I'm sure he'll make hundreds of dollars.
That's all right. Okay, let's talk a little bit about CES. We'll get to the fact that CES looks like is going bust later, but for right now, let's talk about LG's got one new display coming up. They call it the LG Shelf, the transparent shelf. It's an OLED display. And what's interesting about this is that it is actually two different displays, one in front of another. And they're both transparent. So when the LEDs are off, you can see through all the way to the back. Say to their ideas, you could put behind it a picture so you could see through it. And you can actually have a 3D effect because you can have the two layers, and so the two things can parallax in front of each other, which is a cool idea. You can also get they also have inside the shelf, since it's separated from each other, you can drop down basically a screen between the two to make the front OLED essentially a standard television at that point. This is being looked at as an idea for really kind of fancy displays for like if you're going to an art gallery or you're going to somewhere that sells something really expensive and you want to have that cool 3D layered effect around this display. And since they're OLEDs, they're self-lit, so there's absolutely no need for a backlight. This is going to be at it looks like it's going to be at CES for people to take a look at. And I don't know if it's something we're going to see at home, but this could be really awesome in a fancy display, like a Vegas thing. I could see this.
Yeah, we saw this type of screen at CES 2 years ago, I guess, because we obviously weren't there last year. Mm-hmm. But the transparent OLED displays were there at the time. Not set up necessarily in this context, but like if you look at the article, you can see a picture of a girl pointing it out. And we saw several that were very similar to that, just kind of out in the middle so that you could see through them and stuff. The problem I have with it, and I don't see it being like an overlay for artwork or anything, because they aren't 100% transparent. It adds a little bit of like a tint and stuff. And so it would alter the appearance and the ability to see the detail of an artwork or something. So you wouldn't really want something like that you would be paying a ton of visual attention to, like a piece of art, in my opinion. Mm-hmm. Maybe the other idea that they talked about, which is like to enhance products or talk about details about products, that might make more sense. Because then you could do all kinds of interesting stuff with it. I could see that. I don't see it as valuable for artwork, but it is an interesting idea. And maybe they have gotten better at making the transparency more clear and cleaner. But when we saw them there, it definitely had a lot of issues with the amount of transparency and the reflections that you get from the lights and stuff around you on that screen. So it definitely would cause a disruption for your viewability of things.
Yeah. Okay. For me, this is very exciting, right? I'm really looking forward to this type of technology coming to be. I think with augmented reality coming closer, I can see a lot of augmented reality applications here. Also, too, I just think it's very cool that we're seeing the Minority Report come to be.
Oh, so you think this is going to be the waterfall effect of the Minority Report. That was kind of an interesting effect. Yeah, I can see them doing that with this. But then again, I don't want to have my hands up constantly to use my computer. I'm sorry, my arms would just get so tired doing this all day. I think so. I wouldn't like it.
Well, I mean, that would be just one option that you could use, right? But I mean, I prefer the architect on the metrics where you just have that pen that you just double tap.
Ah.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see here. We are on what we have coming up next. We have a story from Instagram. Instagram is basically their CEO, the head of Instagram is named Ad Masari. I'm probably pronouncing that incorrect. He went ahead and came out with basically a document or an announcement about how the future of Instagram is looking at what they're doing for next year. In particular, he's talking about what he's doing in order to make video a much bigger thing with Instagram in 2022. In particular, he is looking at the fact that the Instagram TV, the IGTV program that was started last year, that they ended up killing that off. That's okay. They're going to go ahead instead be moving almost everything they do over to their Reels platform. The Reels platform is a longer form video content program, much like YouTube. It's going to be able to have people get connected to it, access their videos on it, and they're also talking about how they're going to better have monetization for their streaming hosts. So it's an interesting change that's happening here. It's an interesting thing that they're doing in order to make this better for their future. I think this is good because competition is good, and YouTube's competition is Vimeo right now, I think. I mean, really, this is a website to watch videos kind of competition. This is the kind of thing that kind of competition they really need to have, that open platform. Anybody can put things on, and there's no fee to get on, kind of thing. There's just ads if you want to do that, or you can pay to not watch the ads. That level of service, I don't think it really exists anywhere else yet. So, or if it does, there's no big obvious competition to the YouTube side there. And I know I love YouTube. I love YouTube. I'm okay with there being good competition, and I'm hoping this is it. So.
Yeah, I mean, this is probably one of a very few players that could probably, potentially compete with YouTube. I mean, right now there's YouTube and almost nothing else. I mean, what's the one that the kids use, the little short videos?
TikTok.
Yeah.
I was going to say TikTok is a I mean, they're limited in length, so they aren't necessarily a direct competitor, but they do share some overlap.
Oh yeah.
And YouTube is definitely trying to unseat TikTok, but I don't think it's succeeding in that. I think that this is a good move for them. I think that that's correct, that video is where it's at. People are less and less interested in plain static images anymore, and much more in at least short burst video, right? Like at least the, hey, how's everybody doing kind of thing, rather than a picture with a text, with with text that says, hey, how's everybody doing?
Right.
I mean, you see, even a lot of what you see on Instagram already is short things. But it's definitely a way to go. I mean, I think that the other stuff that they're doing, to me, is more important for this year than the focus on video. I think the biggest thing for Instagram is they've got to figure out how to be relevant and still be somewhat healthy for people to use. Because I mean, obviously the desire for people right now, I know a lot of people that are moving in the mindset of, I'm not going to do Instagram because I've seen it hurt other people too much. Everybody knows somebody that has had such severe emotional issues after spending time on Instagram and putting too much into it, that I feel like it's something that they need to figure out a way to address, and they're working on it with, turning off the ability to turn off views of likes and stuff like that, so that you aren't so caught up in that. But I think they've got to figure that out. That's probably the most important thing for them.
This feels like, to me, like Instagram. Well, first of all, there's two sides of this coin I feel really interested in. Well, first is the more like, oh, how cute. It's like mini YouTube. It's like YouTube when it started. They were having troubles with people being addicted to it. They were having troubles with people dealing with content controls and, kids mode and things like that. They are working through those things that YouTube did a while ago. So I feel like, this is good. They're working through the same problems. They're going to end up with a similar project. I feel like this actually could be the thing that people end up moving as an option for next year. I know there's Twitch, and I know that there used to be Mixer and whatever, but that's not quite the exact same thing, since those are more of a live streaming thing. This just feels like they're moving right into that territory, and that's a good thing because we need competition there. That being said, you basically have to decide, who do I hate more, Meta, Facebook, or Google at that point? Or who do you just trust more, or do you trust more, or whatever? Or are you ambivalent and just like one of the two platforms better? That would be best, obviously. But more likely, everybody's like, I can't stand Google. I'm going to use Instagram because I don't mind Facebook, or vice versa, trying to figure out which of those two problems are the better of the two. So, all right, let's move on. LG has another announcement. This is another announcement that apparently supposed to be shown off at CES this year, maybe. LG is excited to announce that they have a new version of their OLED technology, and the new OLED they're calling EX, which is OLED EX. It's what do they say it stands for? It stands for some weird, name for
evolution experience.
Oh wow, I got to remember that. Yes, this new OLED technology uses a new enhanced manufacturing process. It uses a little bit of a new method of making those OLED cells, and they think they have figured out a way of making those OLED cells that'll be slightly brighter by 30%, which actually, from where they started, 30% is actually a pretty good jump from where they were. So they're able to bring the peak brightness up a lot further than it used to be. But it's still not quite as bright as the LED technology, because LEDs are just super bright. But yeah, this is possibly going to be the new technology for the future. They say it's going to be just as durable as the old LED technology. They think they've got this thing figured out. Of course, LEDs have the huge advantages over LCDs, like the fact that there's no blooming, perfect blacks, extremely high contrast, it's extremely thin screens and the smaller bezels. This is a huge innovation from them, and as we know, those LG TVs are already very beautiful. So, are you excited to see the new EX technology?
I am excited to see this. I think this is going to be a good implementation of it. I agree with everything you said. 30% is significant. And I mean, the OLEDs, I have an LG OLED television that I bought in 2018. So this would be a significant step up from what I have currently, right? So yeah, I'm kind of excited about this to see where it goes. And quite frankly, I mean, I'm excited also to see where the mini LED goes as well, because I think they're obviously not sitting still either on this. Yeah. And also it's always good to see, the next innovation in display technology. The only question I want to ask is, how much does the marketing guy get paid to come up with evolution experience?
A lot. I'm certain it's a lot. I mean, I do know that they have really big, expensive firms that figure out great names. That's actually a pretty good name, quite frankly.
It's a good name, but it's I guess you got to name it something, and that's definitely as good as anything, right?
I have a question. Are you planning to purchase a new OLED TV to replace your old one?
No, I think I'll hang on to my old one for a bit longer. I mean, my old one was, and of course, it all depends on price, right? I mean, if they came down low enough in price and all, then perhaps, right? But definitely not the first generation. I'm not going to rush out and buy the first generation of this. I want to see it I want to see it in stores. I want to, see the first people, who do buy it. Do they have any issues with it or anything like that, right?
Well, I was going to say, if you're interested in buying a new one, I was like, can I buy your old one off of you? Maybe there'll be a lot of cheaper OLEDs on the market because people upgrade. Oh man, that would be great.
Because I'll tell you, just a regular OLED that I have right now is great, right? I mean, if you get one, I mean, granted, it depends on the source, the video that you're watching, right? But if you watch a movie or TV show that has the HDR in there, in on the video and all, that OLED is just phenomenal. I mean, best picture I've ever seen, right? And this technology here probably will make it better, I'm sure, right? But still, I mean, it is probably the best picture I've ever seen. Still, even when I go to like a Best Buy or something now, and I look at the TVs, none of them seem better than what I have at home now. This may be, right? And maybe I'll get interested in this, but I'm not going to buy it in the first year, probably not the second year either. Somewhere down the road, maybe so, right? But anyway, Mike, you were going to say something. Go ahead.
Yeah, I think we're running up to the 5 o'clock hour here in Central Time, so it's almost less than 2 minutes till midnight in our most of Europe. It's
a huge
European
section.
Countries.
Yeah, we're about to celebrate for a gigantic section of Europe. I mean, it's like, I don't know, Germany and Italy, and I mean, it's huge number of people. If you happen to be watching around the world, welcome. Welcome. Happy to have you from around the world. Hopefully, you were going to have a great New Year. Anywhere else, I'm hoping you're going to have a great New Year, of course. But yeah, according to this, we have a few seconds left.
Yeah, about another minute and a half, probably.
Yeah.
And I'll go ahead and say to my father-in-law, does the Rovia.
We have about 1 minute left, and so we'll have that up and running in just a second. So
yeah.
I want to go to OLED because they're really good for gaming. They've got the really good response times. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah, I'm excited about that. So, all right. Well, we have about 40 seconds left before we're going to get going here. So, oh no, Jimmy, I'm so sorry. Didn't mean to do that.
No problem. I was just reading the news here.
I didn't mean to do that.
All right.
So I'm going to go ahead and get us started on the countdown in about 10 seconds here. We're going to get going. I hope you guys hopefully have a wonderful new year. And we'll have a nice little song here for you guys to enjoy. So Happy New Year, everybody. Here we go. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2,
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year! Diamond Club hopes you have enjoyed this year. Yeah! Put your hands in the air right now!
Oh, man. It's not working as well as I was hoping. Oh well, that's all right. It got
Far
kind
off
of.
were we with the delay, right?
Well, that's true. Yeah, there was a delay too. I should have been after
We
that.
were like 30 seconds late or something.
I'm so sorry. I don't mean to bring into the year a little late, but that's okay, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay. I want to take this moment to say that we are working with these guys at the Diamond Club Streamathon, and we're trying as best we can to let you guys know that we're working to donate to extralife.org. You guys can donate online. I have a link here if you want to donate for us. Let me go find that. So you can see this. So there's this one here. And we're going to make sure we're on the right tab.
Wabbit already pasted it.
Pasted the link. Thank you, Wabbit. Here we are. This is the rextralife.org, where you can go in there and you can make a donation directly towards us if you wish to. This is all going with the entire team at the Diamond Club Streamathon. This just means you're donating to us of the VOD Squad, as putting your name, earmarking it, saying this was done during this show and because we like these guys. And that's awfully nice if you want to do that. We appreciate it. I have not looked at how far they've done so far this year, but this is a really cool program. This is about letting families spend time with their kids. This is about people who are in the hospital and they don't have enough money to spend for a hotel or for something to eat, for them to be there with their kids when they're in the hospital. And so the idea of making that possible through donations is amazing. Please, I want to say thank you very much for any and all donations you can give, whether it's to us or anybody else during the Streamathon. It doesn't really matter if you just can provide. I mean, a small donation makes a big difference to somebody's life. Just think of it that way. So I hope that you guys all have a wonderful new year. And I hope that everybody around the world is going to have a better year than last year. So I am excited about this, and I'm hoping everybody else around is able to do something good for themselves, good for someone else, good for the world. This is what we are trying to do for ourselves this year. So thank you very much. And unless you guys have something to say.
Yeah. It's going really well so far. We've got $60 on the VOD Squad.
Wow.
And in total, $4,864.
Whoa, nice.
It's moving very nicely. We appreciate everybody's generosity. Thank you very much. And
you make me feel so good.
If you got a few bucks that you can spare to help make somebody's life a little better, then please do.
You guys make me feel so good. $60. $70
Yes.
It looks like now. Oh man.
All right. Thanks everybody.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
All right. Should we get back to finish the news?
Yeah, I was going to mention. I didn't want to start talking and then stop 3 seconds later. But I was going to mention that I recently purchased one of the quantum dot LEDs.
Oh, you did?
Because I just was not happy with when I looked at them side by side. The OLEDs definitely have better looking images.
Mm-hmm.
However, the brightness to me was the limiting factor. I knew that in my living room, it's not a dark room most of the time. And so I just felt like that extra brightness that I got out of the LEDs was better and more important than the level of contrast and the quality of the colors and stuff like that. So I went with that. I've been super happy with it so far, but I got to say that's the difference to me. If you add 30% brightness to that LG, there's no question I would have paid the extra money to go to the OLED versus the quantum dot LED. It's a pretty significant amount of brightness difference between those LEDs and the OLEDs. And so this is definitely addressing the biggest problem with the screens. And I think once they fix that, it'll be it'll be uncontroversial. There's no reason to think about, oh, well, the Samsung or, Sony TVs look really great. It'll just be, you're going to go OLED, period.
Right.
If you're in that price range, there won't be any question about it after they fix this brightness issue.
And in the future, the price difference will be, instead of being $1,000 or $700 difference, it'll be $100 difference. Because as we know, how the economies of scale and the economies of just being better and doing these things better, and it always gets cheaper, even in times like this where it seems like things aren't getting cheaper. Technology's job is to do something the same or better than it used to for the same or less money. So always something becomes better or cheaper over time, which means in the future, I will be able to not be thinking, oh man, that's a lot of money for an OLED, but it's so good. It'll be like, yeah, that one's $30 less and that one's $30 more, and it's the OLED. Heck yeah,
And
it will be.
I mean, they talk about it offering 8K. I didn't get clearly if this was only going to be available on the 8K. I assume not. But I mean, the one thing I would be concerned about is, this will be a significantly more expensive solution for them than their old OLED screens. They're using different chemical compounds and stuff. I expect it'll be more expensive. So I wonder it will impact the price. But OLEDs have come down in price so much that even if it goes back up, probably it'll be more like the old OLED price, which was like $2,000, $2,400 for a 65-inch, which now you can get a 65 for like $1,500 or something like that most of the time.
Again, always better, always cheaper, one of the two or both. That's what technology does. Doesn't matter until, they blow up factories, which has happened in the past. I remember when Micron, the memory factory, blew up and and memory prices went up. That sucked. But otherwise, technology tends to go down in price and or gets better at the same time.
Yeah.
Which is awesome. And I want OLED because I like video games, and the pixel response time on OLED is just so much better. So it's much less blurry and when you're doing high action video games. So in the future, when I get to there and I'm actually playing in those high end games, that's what I'm going to aim for. So I'm excited about that. All right. Hey, want to talk about Roku. Roku has been one of our favorites here on this channel for a while because it's just so simple and it's so cheap. And it's just like, man, it's just, it comes with, they're everywhere. It comes on mini TVs now. The Roku device has been an extremely popular, extremely easy to use device. It's got the right interface because it's simple and easy and runs on a potato. So it doesn't really require too much processing power to make it. I mean, they sell like a $25 streaming dongle thing that works fine at 1080p, which that or spend a whole $35 and get the 4K. I mean, really, it's not that bad. One of the things that they did do in the last couple of years is they had a program called the TV Ready program, the Roku TV Ready program. This TV Ready certification would allow specific devices that were compatible to very easily connect to a Roku device. And how it worked was that it would you would have your device, you power it on, and then your TV would, one way or another, probably with a Bluetooth or a Wi-Fi signal, would be able to detect that compatible device was enabled in nearby. At which point, very much like your iPod, your AirPods opening up the case and just showing up on your iPhone, this will just show up on your Roku TV saying, "Hey, I just detected this brand new soundbar. Would you like me to make it connect?" And it just works. It's cool because it does things like automatically stop sending out audio out of your TV speakers and instead sends the audio out on your new soundbar or other satellite speaker systems or whatever, and automatically sets it so when you press the volume button on your Roku remote, it changes the volume on the soundbar automatically. All those things get automatically, without any fuss, just changed over and work. So the announcement here is that they've expanded this program to include a lot more brands. Looks like the brands that they're going to be working with is adding Element, which is like the world. I mean, isn't that like the the super cheap brand from Best Buy. Element, JVC, Fennu. I've never heard of them. I'm sure there's something nice. I just don't know. Philips, and they have already had Polk Audio and Westinghouse. So, yeah. It looks like they're possibly going to get Bose in the future. So this is awesome. This basically makes it a lot easier for a person like me to say to my mom or somebody else who says, I don't want anything complicated. I just want something that just works. I can say, get it. Oh. Happy New Year. Oh, look at the snowman. It's so cute. I think that's for you, Jimmy.
Yes.
Happy New Year.
It's, yeah. You're saying Happy New Year.
Yeah, that's cute. How many of those have you had, Jimmy?
Well,
Not
she
enough.
She brought me another one.
You're double fisting
She's
it.
like, you need to speed up. You're not keeping up.
Oh no, man. Anyways, this is exactly the kind of thing that I'm happy to see. My only thing I think about this kind of thing is that I really wish this was an open platform so I could do this with my Google TV or my Amazon Alexa Fire TV or whatever. That's what I wish this was. But other than that, go Roku. This is cool.
Yeah. Well, I think this is very cool. This is exactly what I think Roku needed to do. I mean, they had already expanded that in TVs, yes, but to make this kind of seamless integration with sound systems like this, right? Especially in the age of COVID, right? Mm-hmm. Genius. I mean, this was exactly what they needed to do.
Yeah, I think, if you compare the experience I had with LG and Vizio with my Fire TV, it's similar to this, right? Like with the LG, it took me, probably 5 to 10 minutes to set up the TV. And then my separate Polk Audio speaker and sub, that took me another 5 to 10 minutes. And, it was a bunch of clicks and took a fair amount of time to get everything ironed out quite right. Versus like when I brought this new Vizio home, I brought it and a sound bar that was a Vizio sound bar. I hooked them up to my Fire TV Cube, and it pretty much just automatically detected the device, the TV. It set up the TV just fine.
Cool.
And then I said I added a sound bar, and that's all I literally did was just said, find sound bar. Yeah, that's it. And it worked perfectly. So it makes a world of difference for that integration. And I've had to go in and reset it once or twice for various reasons, but it literally takes less than 2 minutes total to do both the soundbar and the TV. So even if you have to do that, it wasn't that big of a deal. I think that this has been one of those places where there's been a tremendous amount of effort and expertise involved in setting things up. Mm-hmm. You go back just a couple of years and you had your Harmony remotes that you bought, and you spent you had to connect them to your computer and spend a bunch of time searching out all the devices and configuring how you used everything and what things you used for what purpose and what buttons you clicked. And you did so much effort to get it ready. Now it's easier, but these kinds of things, this eliminates the need to pay a professional hundreds of dollars to come into your house and set up your sound system and your TV and things. And you get just as good of a result as if they came in and set it up for you.
Do you remember when the future was you're going to have a device that controls all your audio equipment and your video and all that, and is going to make I remember when I thought this was going to be the future of watching TV, because it had an IR remote built into it. This is, in case you're listening for some reason, this is the Wii U gamepad. And the Wii U had the TV service, which was literally... You didn't watch TV on this. No. This is a channel guide and a video control and input control and volume control. That's all this was. And also it allowed you to have a chat inside this with other members watching the same show as you. That was the idea behind the original Wii U TV service. And it was a cool idea. I actually thought this could have been awesome. Obviously, nobody used it because nobody bought these except for, people. Whatever.
I mean, and Microsoft did the same thing too.
Yeah.
The Xbox One was going to be the media center of the future. I bought my Xbox One over the PlayStation 4 or whatever it was at that time because I was like, this is the future of how you watch TV. Obviously that went nowhere.
No, that was a huge mistake, actually. Everybody punished them for saying, you're not a pure gaming system. Yeah,
well, I mean, and the fact that it didn't work well
No,
was a really big issue. Like, it definitely wasn't very good. I used it like 3 times that way, and then I was like, now I'm switching back to my Media Center PC.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought it was working okay. I didn't know it sucked.
No,
okay, I'm sorry.
It sucked.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, Roku's blazing the trail here. Hopefully, other manufacturers will follow suit, right? Buy into the same protocol and integration with all these, sound systems, because in the age of COVID, like what we are, I think everybody's looking into beefing up their home theater game here. And this plays right into that.
Yes, it does, actually. That's true. All right, we have a couple stories that are related to each other. I'm going to go ahead and just put them together as one. I don't think I have them in the doc. I'll throw them in later. But it's about CES. Looks like everybody's pulling out of CES this year. And I do mean pretty much everybody. Lenovo and Intel, and now Google. I don't know who's left.
Yeah, we didn't go last year, Clyde. Well, Clyde
went, and he was knocking on the door trying to get in. There was nobody there.
I didn't go last year. We were going to go this year. We got everything set up. We had reservations and everything. And then, everything started to fall apart. So we just kind of gave up. And then, of course, right after we canceled all of our reservations and stuff, then all of a sudden, COVID starts spiking again, right? Yep. So now everybody's pulling out. This was definitely a good thing that we canceled, so we didn't end up paying for the condo and not being able to keep it and stuff.
In that way, it was good. Good timing on our part to not go and send you guys. So yeah, the other story, real briefly, I wanted to talk about was the fact that they do have it officially now. They're actually going to end it one day early. So instead of it going on until the 8th, January the 8th, it's only going to be going to January the 7th. And they are going to have all kinds of requirements for you to get in there. So you may want to skip going to CVS this year, only because nobody else is going to be there, but also because you don't have to do proof of vaccination, rapid tests, and masks. If you don't want to do any of that, you can still go digitally. And I bet you, like many people who I listen to on podcasts who tell me going to CES sucks, listening about CES on a podcast or by a reporter is great. Mm-hmm. That's the way to go.
if you have somebody going that you like to listen to and watch, then that works really well.
Really good for you, not necessarily for the guy.
Not for them, because they still have to suffer through it. It is fun and it's neat to see, but it is hard. It's a long few days of walking a lot and talking to a lot of people and stuff. But
tech companies who send off their company, the news companies that send people off to CES need to start including a CES bonus for going there. I think that would make sense. But that's I'm just some guy talking on the internet. So
yeah. Well, I mean, all these companies can do like their own pre-made keynote videos, right? And just show those, right? To showing off the products and that kind of thing. Yeah. I mean, they could do the whole thing virtual nowadays, right?
Oh, well, that brings us to the end of our news segment. We have a little bit of time left before our live stream is up for the Diamond Club Streamathon, for New Year's Eve Streamathon. And so I'm going to go ahead and start us off in what our usual statement, but a little tweak on what we normally do during this segment of our show. Normally in Rants and Raves, we're allowed to rant or rave about whatever we want. we're still going to be allowed to do that. But also, I want to just take a moment and think back, and I want anybody to, if they want to, just think back about the last year, about what the thing was that was either something that irked them about the year in the streaming technology, or that they loved in streaming technology. And if they want, also look forward into next year and what irks them about what's going to happen in the future, or hopefully what's exciting them about the future. I'll start if you guys want me to, because I usually do. And I want to say that I had a great Christmas because I got these brand new key lights. These new lights are so much better than I'm no longer purple. You might notice of that. I'm so happy about that. My streams look a little bit better because I have good lighting now. I'm super jazzed about that. That's a little fun thing for me. And I am excited because I am playing Metroid Dread, and it is anxiety building when you play it because that's designed that way, and it is a blast to play. It's so much fun. So I wanted to say those things about what I've been able to do. I've been also watching movies and streaming. Went to the theater and we watched West Side Story. It's West Side Story. It's good. If you like the original, you'll love the new one. It's the same thing. Apparently it's not doing well in theaters. I wonder if it's the same thing, so that's fine. It's good though, I have to say. And last but not least, I think for me, the biggest thing that clicked for me in the future, and as of what this past year, I think streaming gaming is going to blow up huge. I think that I've been playing with Stadia, and I've been really enjoying it. I've played with GeForce Now before. I haven't done it in a little while, but I've been playing with GeForce Now. And I hear things about the Xbox Live Pass, Xbox streaming thing. I might be trying that out. I'm also working very hard. I'm transitioning my computer system set up as well. Normally I have a computer that's in my other room. That computer is my gaming machine. And this one here is my streaming laptop that's all set up for streaming and all that. And actually I'm deciding I'm going to change things. I'm going to keep this. I might upgrade this setup because obviously I could tell it could probably use a little bit more juice because I got too many things running at the same time here. But I'm thinking I'm going to have a dedicated streaming computer in my house, running Windows, but streaming to somewhere else or anywhere else I want to play a game inside my house, using Steam Link or using Moonlight or whatever the internal streaming technology, or remote from somewhere else's houses. I can still play my games wherever I am. I think that might be a goal of mine for next year, to set that up and make that work really well so I can continue to do my things like that. So that's all my rants and raves. I'm sorry I took up a lot of time. So you guys want to have me say anything quick before we're only 7 minutes left?
Yeah. So for me, I think probably the best TV series that I've seen this year was Witcher Season 2. Absolutely loved that. Came out earlier this month. The best movie for the year was Dune. The most disappointing series was The Wheel of Time.
Really? You didn't get
wow.
it went bad.
The final season episode came out this last week, and it was the worst of the series in my opinion.
So WOT does stand for waste of time. Gotcha.
It's worse. Now, I still am hopeful next year they can pull it off.
Right.
But problems there. And then my prediction is that it will become even harder to find stuff online, like YouTube and stuff like that doesn't suck.
And so I'll quickly say, since we only just got like 5 minutes left here, I'll quickly say that best TV show for me this year, and it got a lot of awards this year, was Ted Lasso. Ted Lasso was the Happy New Year. Happy New Year.
Is that a moose?
I think it is.
Does a moose have a name?
Mary? It's just Mr. Moose.
Mr. Moose.
Mr. Moose. Mr. Christmas Moose.
Sorry, I'm still not sure about that.
Is that what you've renamed your Siri?
Yeah.
Mr. Christmas Moose? That's
right. It never accidentally go off then. That's pretty good. Although apparently it did.
I think my wife accidentally tapped the speaker and it was listening to me. Yeah, Ted Lasso got a lot of awards. One of the top shows of the year, in my opinion, probably the best TV show of the year. A couple of honorable mentions. I'll mention Yellowstone from Peacock. Very good show. I thought that one was a good one. Succession with HBO.
I hear nothing but good things about that. I hear that you love to hate these people.
Oh yeah, very good show. Me and my wife. Matter of fact, I'm going to be watching an episode tonight after the show here. Best documentary of 2021.
Beatles.
The Beatles Get Back. Right. So wanted to mention those movies. I don't know. In the to me, there wasn't any one movie that stood out from. There were some good movies released, but nothing really stood out to me in ways of movies.
The Matrix Resurrections.
I thought about mentioning that one. I did watch that one over the Christmas holiday. I did like it. Yeah. Right, enjoyed it. That one. I mean, it's recent in my mind. Was it a big standout to the other ones? Mike mentioned Dune. I didn't get to see Dune, Mike, or else I would have mentioned that one. That one did look good to me as well. But the new Matrix movie was definitely good. I really enjoyed that. So yeah, that kind of wraps it up for me for 2021.
Yeah, I didn't watch a lot of movies this year per se, but yeah, it's But yeah, I did watch Matrix Resurrections. Must say, if you like the Matrix movies, so there's a problem with the Matrix movies is that they've been analyzed, and by analyzed I mean college courses analyzed on these. I mean literally, hey, the philosophy of the Matrix and the whole, it's a huge thing. The people, and so you might think, oh my God, what could they do this to make the fourth movie? And they basically decide we're going to take all of these overanalyzed things and we're going to integrate them into the first act of the movie, which I really enjoyed because they literally went nuts with the, but the Matrix is this. No, the Matrix is that. No, the Matrix is these things. This is what makes it good. And they really kind of leaned into that whole thing, which was really great. So I really enjoyed that. The rest of the movie was fine. It was the Matrix, and I like the Matrix, and it was in the Matrix. I would say it's probably of the 3 movies, of the 4 movies now, it's the second best one, which that's not half bad.
Yeah. I mean, it was definitely entertaining, right? And I think Matt said it right. If you like The Matrix, you'll like this movie as well, right? So.
All right. Well, we are basically out of time. I want to go ahead and say it was really wonderful to fill this hour for you guys. I hope you guys all are going out and donating to the Streamathon this year. Up next, we have Tom Merritt and Sarah Lane with Goodyear Internet. Oh my goodness, we get to introduce Tom Merritt and Sarah Lane at Goodyear Internet. Wow. That's like an honor.
It really is. I mean, it truly is an honor.
These two nerds over there, from us 3 nerds and Clyde, who couldn't make it tonight. We really appreciate everything you do. We love you. It's great to listen to you every day. So absolutely, everybody have a great year, Internet, as I believe that is. But I think that's our time. We're about to disappear off the Internet
And we are the VOD Squad. We stream on YouTube.
Yes, we do. We moved off of this silly Twitch platform. We went to YouTube, and you can find us on YouTube. You search for the VOD Squad on YouTube, or go to thevodsquad.com. You can find us there and see us every week. We stream 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Every Wednesday. So really excited if you wanted to come by and see us again. This is basically what we talk about, just streaming technology and shoot the breeze a bit. It's lots of fun. So
bye.
All right. Are we out? Are we leaving?
Send it.
No, the Internet is taking us away. No.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.